Reaper is one of the new classes that were introduced with the release of Endwalker. Reaper is a melee DPS and currently the best one in terms of raw DPS and utility. In this guide, I will teach you the basics of Reaper, some guidelines to follow, and the openers. Alright, let's get into it. First off, there is Shadow of Death, which is one of the most important skills in your kit. Shadow of Death, when applied, increases the damage you deal to the target by 10%, and it lasts 30 seconds. It doesn't work for you if another Reaper does it, keep that in mind. You want to apply that once in your opener and then reapply every 30 seconds. There's an AoE version of it, Hole of Death, for multiple targets. Next, there is your 1-2-3 combo, and these are your standard AoE combos. These skills generate 10 soul gauge each. With 50 soul gauge, you can execute Bloodstalk for single target and Grim Swath for AoE. Or Gluttony, which is a powerful ability on a 60-second cooldown. It is also AoE. Each time you execute a Bloodstalk and Grim Swath, you get 1 Soul Reaver stack, but Gluttony gives you 2 stacks. You are given 3 choices to spend these stacks on: Gibbet, Gallows, or Guillotine. They cost 1 stack each. Guillotine is simply for AoE. Gibbet and Gallows are single target and they combo with each other. For example, if you execute Gibbet, you gain an enhanced Gallows buff. It lasts 60 seconds and increases the potency of your next Gallows. And the other way around, of course. Gibbet and Gallows have positionals. Gibbet does more damage from the flank and Gallows from the rear. Also, after executing Gibbet or Gallows, Bloodstalk will be upgraded to either Unveiled Gibbet or Unveiled Gallows. This is simply a potency increase, so don't worry about it. You also have Soul Slice and Soul Scythe. Soul Slice for single target and Soul Scythe for AoE. These abilities are on the GCD and give you 50 soul gauge. They also have 2 stacks, which is very convenient. Next up, there is Soul Sow, which is a very interesting skill. Once you press it, you gain Harvest Moon, which is a very powerful ability. You only want to use Soul Sow before pulling, during downtime, or between dungeon pulls, since when you are in combat, Soul Sow cast time goes from instant to 5 seconds, which is a very big DPS loss. Now, let's talk about the Shroud gauge, Reaper's second gauge. Upon executing Gibbet, Gallows, or Guillotine, you will get 10 Shroud gauge. With 50 gauge, you can execute Enshroud, which gives you access to a variety of powerful abilities. Those are Void Reaping, Cross Reaping, and Grim Reaping, which replace Gibbet, Gallows, and Guillotine respectively, and Communia, which is a 1000 potency ability. During Enshroud, most other GCDs are locked. Enshroud lasts 30 seconds, but you only have 5 stacks, meaning you can only use 5 GCDs since each GCD costs 1 stack. The GCD of these abilities is 1.5 seconds, which is quite short. By casting Void Reaping, Cross Reaping, and Grim Reaping, you get 1 new stack of Void Shroud. With 2 Void Shroud stacks, you can execute 2 new abilities: Lemur Slice for single target or Lemur Scythe for AoE. This is a lot to take in and might be a little bit confusing. What you want to do during your Enshroud window is Void Reaping, then Cross Reaping. These 2 combo just like Gallows and Gibbet, so you want to switch between them. Then Lemur Slice, since you have your 2 Void Shroud stacks, Void Reaping again, and then Cross Reaping, Lemur Slice, and then finish off with Communio. Communio always goes at the end since it will end your Enshroud effect when executed. It works kinda like a finisher. For AoE, you can spam Grim Reaping and Lemur Scythe in between, and finish off with Communio since it's also AoE. Now, let's move on to Reaper's utility. First off, you have Arcane Circle. When executing Arcane Circle, you get 3 different buffs: Arcane Circle, Circle of Sacrifice, and Bloodstone Circle. Arcane Circle increases damage dealt by self and nearby party members by 3%, and it lasts 20 seconds. During Circle of Sacrifice, when you or party members under this effect successfully land a weapon skill or cast a spell, the Reaper who applied it will be granted a stack of Immortal Sacrifice, up to maximum of 8 stacks, and it lasts 30 seconds. And finally, Bloodstone Circle allows you to accumulate stacks of Immortal Sacrifice from party members under the effect of your Circle of Sacrifice. With these stacks, you gain access to a very powerful ability, Plentiful Harvest. Plentiful Harvest requires at least 1 stack to execute, but the more stacks you have, the more potency, which goes up to 800. It also does damage in a straight line, meaning you can use it for AoE as well. Plentiful Harvest also gives you 50 Shroud Gauge upon execution, allowing you to have at least one Enshroud each Arcane Circle for powerful bursts. Next up, there's Arcane Crest. Arcane Crest gives you a shield which lasts 5 seconds. If the shield is destroyed, your entire group including you will get 100 potency regen for 15 seconds. This ability is extremely powerful, so please use it as often as possible. Lastly, you have Hell's Ingress and Hell's Egress. Hell's Ingress dashes you forwards, leaving a portal behind. You can press Regress to go back within 10 seconds. Hell's Egress does the same thing, but it dashes you backwards. Upon pressing any of these two skills, you also get an enhanced Harp buff, which makes your ranged skill instant. Harp normally has a 1.5 second cast time. Now, let's take a look at the openers. There's two openers, Late Gluttony and Early Gluttony. Both are situational, but so far Late Gluttony has been better in Zodiark and Hydaelyn. With Early Gluttony, however, you can line things up easier during the fight. Early Gluttony goes something like this. You're going to be clipping a little on Plentiful Harvest, but that is normal, don't worry about it. And this is Late Gluttony. You will also be clipping here a little as well during Plentiful Harvest, but that is normal, don't really worry about it. Now that we're done, let's take a quick look on some guidelines, shall we? Always be casting, of course. Always have your 10% damage buff on. Never overcap Gauge. Always combo your Gibbet and Gallows. Remember your positionals. Don't forget Arcane Circle. And always press your Arcane Crest. Thank you for watching. This was my first attempt at making a class guide. I hope it really helps you understand how to play Reaper. Any feedback you have, I'd be more than happy to hear it. If you want to support the video or channel, please feel free to like or subscribe it. And see you next time.